So a little disclaimer, the features that I'm showing today in Counterpoint are for front-end Counterpoint only. So if you strictly use Galaxy for point of sales, these features don't translate to Galaxy. It is going to kind of be a short session today, 30-ish minutes or so. Appreciate you attending. And let's go ahead and get started. If you have any questions during the presentation, there is a chat window in your Ring Central toolbar. Just click on that, enter a question because we will have a Q&A at the end and I'll answer any questions you have. Good afternoon or good morning to some of you. My name is Gina Thomas. I'm the training manager at C&K Systems and your hostess for Training Bites, a digestible approach to counterpoint training. So I talk to clients who want to find a way to charge different prices for different locations, or for those of you that sell apparel, you want to charge more for your larger sizes. Out of the box Counterpoint does not have an easy way to charge different prices at different stores. There is a way, but it's a lot of work. And there is no mechanism in out of the box Counterpoint to charge for larger sizes within a matrix. So if you charge more for a larger size, it has to be a standalone SKU. So that's why we're going to talk about advanced pricing today. Advanced pricing is sold separately. And so then we are going to go into another session with price levels, which comes with your Counterpoint install. So I'm going to show you how to enable advanced pricing and how to do location and grid specific pricing using advanced pricing. And then we'll talk about price levels and show you how to set up price levels that are different for customers or at the store level. But again, it's a little bit of work. So just kind of the big picture of advanced pricing. It comes with 6 price levels. Out of the box Counterpoint comes with 3 price levels. You can charge different retail prices at your different stores. You can increase the price of larger sizes within a matrix or grid. And notice I'm saying prices. This is what you charge customers. Cost is averaged across your styles, across your stores. So the cost does not play into this. You don't have different costs for different sizes because of the averaging. So check your registration. You might already have advanced pricing and might not know it. If you go into Counterpoint and go to Setup, System, Registration, the very top line here, if this is checked, you already have advanced pricing. If it's not checked, obviously you don't have it. If you have advanced pricing and want to make sure it's enabled, you're going to go to Setup, System, and Inventory Control. I have too many inventories in here. So Setup, System, and oh, it is Inventory, and then Inventory Control. You'll come to the Prices tab of Inventory Control, and you'll enable these 3 switches. And then advanced pricing will start working. So to have different prices for different locations. Right now we're looking at the item master for ADM PLAT. My price 1 is $36.95 at all my locations. So if I want to change that, I'm going to come down here to prices, this button. I'm going to use my right facing arrow. And when I use my right facing arrow, you'll see this first record that comes up has asterisks, meaning, for this item, ADM Plat, at all locations, it is $36.95. Well, I want to change that. So I would click on the plus sign up here, select the location that I want to sell differently, and put the price here. In this case, I'm charging a little bit more than the regular price for that last item. But anyway, so here it is. At this location, this item will sell for 40. If the price 1 field is blank for my other locations, they will revert to using price 1 on the main tab. So I might have 3 or 4 or 5 stores, but I'm only setting different pricing for 1 store because my rent is cheaper. Grid specific pricing. This is setting pricing for different sizes. So you go to that same prices button on the item record. You use your right facing arrow and you'll see that same screen where it says all locations, all color sizes is the same everywhere. And then you can click on the plus sign up here and choose a color and a size and define the price down here. Now, if this field is blank, then Counterpoint will revert to the price one on the main tab. Now, price levels, totally a different subject, definitely out of the box Counterpoint, very high maintenance. In general, when it comes to having different prices for different customers or different locations, I like to rely on price rules, but those are only useful if all the items have the same pricing in general. You know, everything at this store is 10% off or $10 off. Every customer gets 10% off or $10 off, whatever the case may be. But when your pricing is specific to each individual item, and it's not a blanket percentage or blanket dollar amount, maybe it's a few dollars or a few percentage, that's when you would use a price level. But along with the price level, you will need a corresponding price rule. So typically people set up price levels to be customer based. So in my example here, I said, price one, this is my off the street customer. But if my wholesale customer comes in, they get this same item for $200. And again, I'm going to have my customers segmented and attached to a wholesale category and then set up the corresponding price rule. But I'll show you how to do all that. Setting these price levels at the item level is a lot of clicking. So if you want something that's just a little bit easier to manage as far as setting the prices, go to inventory, prices, and item prices. Click on the table view. In any table view, you can edit. It's like being on a big spreadsheet. So then you can come to your wholesale column here and then just set or edit your prices. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into the software and take a look at all this. So I'm going to start with the advanced pricing first. So this is, again, the one that's sold separately. Make sure I'm in the right version. So first I'm going to check my registration. Setup, system, registration. I'm just going to bring this window down. So you can see I do indeed have advanced pricing. Now I'm going to make sure it's enabled. So I'm going to start at the beginning. Setup, inventory, inventory control. I'm going to click on the pricing tab, and you can see I have my 3 statements enabled. So now let's go look at an item and do a location specific price. So I'm just going to go to inventory items. And I'm just going to find an item. So my price for this item at all of my stores is $349.99, but I want it to be different at my East store. So I'm going to come down here to prices. I'm just going to use this right facing arrow. So this means for this item at all my stores, the price is going to be $349.99. But I'm going to say, you know what? For my East store, let me select it. For my East store, the price for this item, and it's gonna be on the price one field. This is the beauty of advanced pricing, by the way. So at my East store, it's $299.99. Then I'm gonna save. So now I'm gonna ring this item up at my main store and at my East store. So we'll just log into point of sale here. Hopefully I remember my password. So here I'm at my main where the price is $349. As soon as touchscreen loads. There we go. Thank you. Okay, so let's get my item. $349. Now I'm going to log out and log into my East store. This is so nice and straightforward. I really like this feature. Oh, there we go. Didn't type in the password. See, I'm not the only one that, or you're not the only one that has problems with passwords. I got it right that time. So here I am in my e-store. I'm going to sell the same item. Comes up $299.99. Very, very simple. Now let's talk about gridded items. So I hear this all the time. I've got a gridded item, but I sell my extra larges for more because they cost me more. So with advanced pricing, you can set a higher price on those larger sizes. So I'm going to go into inventory items and I'm going to find a windbreaker when I get in here. So it's going to look up and I'll say, find me a windbreaker. There it is. So this particular item sells for $49.79. And if I come to my grid, that means for any color, any size, it is $49.79. But I want to make my extra large more expensive. So I'm going to come down to prices. And again, I'm just going to use my right facing arrow. So you can see the asterisk here means everywhere this item, any size, any color is $49.79. Well, let me click on the plus sign here. I'm going to make this for all locations, but you can make it location specific. I'm going to choose a color. So I'll choose black, and then I'll choose the size, which is extra, extra large. And for this particular size, instead of charging $49.79, I'm going to charge $55.79 and then save. You do have to assign this price one for the larger sizes for each and every color. So I'm going to come back into the plus sign, select all locations, select a different color. Let's say it's blue. And let's say the size is extra, extra large, of course. And so now I'm going to set this to 55.79, 79. And then I'm going to save. I'm going to close out of here and log back into point of sale so you can see how this works. And let me sign in. And there we go. So I'm just going to do a lookup for the windbreaker. There it is. I like how Counterpoint remembers my last lookup most of the time. I'm going to choose the blue small, $49.79. Now I'm going to choose the blue extra, extra large. $55.79. So super easy to manage with advanced pricing and to assign those different prices at the different locations or different size levels. But again, it is an option you pay extra for. So let's talk about what you can get out of the box, the price levels. I will warn you, they are high maintenance. They do take a little work, but you can have price levels that are customer segment specific or location specific. So I'll show you an example of both. So I'm going to go to, let me go to a different install. This other install, I don't have advanced pricing. So I'll go to inventory and I'll go to items. And I'm going to find my item. So again, I am going to come down here to prices. And I'm going to use, well, it defaults to the asterisk. If I use my right facing arrow, there's nothing here because I don't have advanced pricing. So I'm forced, whatever prices you're setting is going to apply to all locations. And if it's gridded, all dimensions of the grid. So for wholesale, my wholesale customers, I'm going to say, no, instead of paying $349.99, they pay $299.99. But now I need to make sure I have my customers segmented and attached to a category. So I'm going to go into my customers. And I'm going to find my favorite customer, Bill Baker. So I think he's my first customer here. So down here at the bottom where it says category, that's what I mean about segmenting your customers. So that's going to work with the price level. Now our final step is a price rule that will tie all three together. So I'm going to click out of here and I'm going to go to inventory, prices, and contract. I'm a big believer if you are going to use price rules just to set everything up in a contract price. It's the first place Counterpoint looks when it's looking at criteria on your point of sale documents. Or if you have a price rule that isn't working, it's easier to troubleshoot if you're doing everything under contract. So I'm going to go to contract. And I already set up one for the wholesale customer. But normally when you come in here, it's a blank screen. And you would just type what you wanted to call the group code. I called mine wholesale. And then, of course, press your enter key. Give your group code a description. So I said wholesale prices. Down here in the customer filter is where I said, this price rule only works for this customer, any customer attached to this category. So then I go to rules, and I'll be on this first line here. And so then you have to come down here to this required field and say, well, what's the rule description? And I just called it wholesale customer. Now over here, the method is pick price, and the basis is price too. So anytime you pick an item for this customer, if there is a price to defined, use the price to. If there's no price to defined, use price one. That's how it works. If I want to restrict what this wholesale customer, where they can use their price to, you can actually come to this items filter and say, yeah, this only works with apparel, it only works with golf, whatever the case may be, or everything except apparel, or everything except golf. So now let's go to point of sale and sell this to Bill, sell something to Bill. So I'm just going to go back to point of sale. And I'll just sign into my main. I don't have any passwords in this install. Yay. Nothing to remember. Okay, so I'm going to do a lookup for Bill. Now I could come here to my customer lookup button, but in this version of Counterpoint, you can also do a customer lookup from this line up here. So I'm just going to click on it, just go into my lookup, find Bill. I have a few bills in here. There we go. And okay. Okay. This is just telling me that Bill has orders on file. I don't want to process those right now. And Bill's over his credit limit. It's a good thing I'm a manager. Oh, and we need to verify Bill's phone number. Close out of there. So I'm going to go ahead and sell Bill the ADM TL5. I can just retype it. ADM-TL5. So you can see it comes up $299.99, which is what I had on that price level 2. Now I'm going to change this back to a cash customer. And there we are. So it went back to $349.99 because this customer does not meet the price rule criteria or any other customer that's not attached to wholesale. So that's how you can have different prices for different groups of customers, price level plus segmenting customers tied in with a price rule. What if I want different prices at different locations? So let's do that. So again, on the item record itself, it's the same process to begin with, except this won't be customer specific this time. It's going to be location or store specific. So I'm going to come down to prices. And of course, I just define this price. Yeah, I might even rename this field, East Store, whatever the case may be. You can rename those fields in the data dictionary in case you didn't know. Now, I don't need a corresponding customer category because this is a store level price, price and price rule. So I'm going to go straight to price rules. I'm going to go home, inventory prices, and then contract prices. And I already created one. But again, just like the last time, whenever you go into contract prices, you have a blank record. So what I did is I just called my group code store. I'm going to press enter, and I gave it a description of store pricing. There's nothing I need to do down here because it's not customer specific. I went to rules. I gave it a description on this line, e-store prices. I came over here, same settings, pick price, price to. I left my filter blank. It applies to all items at this store, but I could restrict it. It only applies to this category or this vendor or everything but this category or everything but this vendor. But then you need to go to sales and you need to specify the store. So at my main store, everything's going to ring up at price one. At my East store, it's going to ring up at the discounted price. So I'm just going to close out of here and I'm going to log back into point of sale. So here I am at my main store. And I'm going to go ahead and sell that item. And it rings up at full price. Now I'm going to log into my East store. And so let me change the store here. Counterpoint doesn't like my East store today. There we go. Okay, let me go ahead and sell that item. And it's on sale at the East store where it is a lower price. Just a note, when you run your sales reports and you're using these price levels, anything you sell from that price level will show as a discount, which it is, because full price is $349 and price level 2 is $299. So it's definitely a discount and it will be reflected as a discount on your sales reports. And then on another note, although we can have that location specific pricing and customer specific pricing based on the price level, the price rule, the customer segment, there's nothing in out of the box Counterpoint we can do to trick Counterpoint into pricing larger sizes differently than the rest of the matrix. They literally have to be a standalone SKU or you really need to get advanced pricing. All right, let's go back to the PowerPoint presentation. Told you it'd be kind of a shortish session today. So we'll go from here. So hopefully you learned how to enable advanced pricing and understand what advanced pricing is. And if you get advanced pricing or you have advanced pricing, you can define location specific prices or grid specific prices. It's very nice because everything happens on that price one field, reports beautifully. Then if you don't have advanced pricing and you want a method to have different prices at different locations or different prices for different customer segments, then you can set up a price level. Oh, I forgot to show you something real quick. Because again, these price levels can be super high maintenance. Um, a little shortcut here, if you're using price levels, instead of touching every single item and going to the prices box and, arrowing down, there's a much simpler way to do this. If you go to inventory and you come to prices and you go to item prices, and of course table view. I love table view because you can edit in table view. It's like working on a big spreadsheet. So I'm just going to resort this a little bit. So I can just go down the line here and I can just say, well, this item is going to be, 20 at price level 2 or my wholesale price. And this item is going to be 20 as well. Now, I don't know if you know this about table view, but you don't have to save after each entry. If you'll notice, I'm going to make this one 20 And see how my floppy disk lights up here? I don't have to come up here and click on it. Just by arrowing down or clicking on a fresh line, this is anywhere in table view, anywhere in Counterpoint. Counterpoint autosaves. See that? So that's just a little shortcut if you are going to use and manage price levels. It'll just save you a little clicking. All right, sorry I missed that. And now my slideshow presentation wants to stall. So then again, we talked about defining price levels. I always appreciate your feedback, topic suggestions. You will get a survey with your recording either this Friday or at the latest next Monday. You can remain anonymous during the survey, and it's pretty quick. I think it's 2 or 3 questions. Or you can go directly to our website to fill out the survey, www.seekcasesystem.com/training bites survey. If you need custom training, one-on-one, tailored to your business, give me a call. Main number, 888-476-7911. I'm at extension 3. Or you can email me at training@cksystem.com. Happy to talk with you. Next month on May the 4th, this is going to be a really, really good topic and something that's kind of a time saver. I'm going to show you how to import transactions, how to import inventory adjustments, receiving, and transfers. So you could scan to an Excel spreadsheet and import to any of these 3 modules. Notice I didn't say purchasing. There's no mechanism to import purchasing spreadsheets, but there certainly is one for adjustments, receiving, and transfers. And we'll also talk about some history reporting. And hopefully I see you May 4th for the importing transactions. Everyone have a great day. Thanks.